All right, so Lily and I are starting something new called the Marketing Mic,
Yep.
and this is our first attempt. So we're here at the Darkside Custom Harleys here at Sydney.
Silverwater.
Silverwater.
Yep.
So how do you know these two gentlemen? You introduced them?
So George, Sarah, and his brother Nathan. So my son Torin works here actually. So this is how I got to know these guys. They've just, I don't know, they're very, very humble people, and I think it's why I asked these guys if we could do this setup, especially while we're wanting to start business.
Yeah, so thanks for having us. Both.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for
Appreciate
coming
it. I know it's time.
Yeah, which one's the eldest brother, by the way?
Go for it. Fuck. Someone chased
So
me
who's the
other
boss?
day.
Who's the boss?
I'm
straight into it, dude.
Fucking, you know who's the boss.
Arguments
I'm
now.
not starting
I'm
arguing.
only getting told when to speak, so whenever he lets me.
So he's the boss.
Yeah.
Well, you're the reserved workshop guy, right? Yeah. And you're the
We have our departments.
yeah.
Yes, what you do.
Do you have I work with my brother family business, so I know what it's like.
Yeah.
It's tough, dude. You know?
100%.
Yeah, because you got to deal with that family environment too, and you got to make sure it's all fair and all this sort of stuff. So you know,
We're sort of lucky, but we got different jobs here. You know, we're not. I can't override what he does because he doesn't do what I do. I don't do what he does.
Yeah.
So he does all the motor building, tuning. I do a lot of aesthetics, all the fab work. As much as I can, but we're stuck in two different sides of the shops as well.
Yeah.
So
I know. So yeah. So what's on that? What's
So
the
that
difference?
side is our fab section.
Yep.
Where there's cars involved as well. But George is over this side where we have our tuning center and our research development and our motor section. So,
That's awesome, dude.
It wasn't always like that, though.
no, we were
It
stuck in
did
here.
start off in a much smaller place where we were right by each other's sides.
Really?
Where was that?
Croydon.
Where did you start?
We started in Croydon,
Yeah, so
in the garage.
that's right.
Really? Your garage or
Yeah.
a garage?
In
Your
yeah,
home?
in our home garage.
Really?
Oh wow.
It was. We turned it into a decent space. Like you could still fit a good 40 bikes in there.
Really?
Yeah, but
So how did you start? How was it?
question. I guess we started riding first.
Yep.
When we started riding and getting into the Harleys and cruising around, we started doing all our own sort of work, and we're mechanics by trade.
Yep.
So working with cars and bikes, and then next thing you know, people are going, "Hey, who did you work? Where can I get that done?" And so that started to happen, and it just sort of took off from a hobby to a business, and it escalated quite quickly, actually.
Wow.
Quicker than we thought.
Did you ever want to be mechanics, or was it in the?
Well, George was a mechanic originally. Like that's all he's ever done. I've done some other jobs,
Right.
but then I fell into the bike side of mechanics because my friend owned the shop as well when I was
Okay.
younger.
Yep.
And then I went from there. But yeah, we pretty much had different jobs. He worked at a mechanic shop full time. I worked part time on the bikes, and then I quit my job to give it a go with George. George you worked longer, didn't you? You worked about a year longer.
Probably did, yeah.
About a year
So,
longer
yeah.
at his full time job while I was
Yep.
still in the garage, and then he threw the towel in, and we gave it a shot.
Combined
Yeah,
and then just
gave it a go.
continued.
Yep.
Just customizing bikes, basically.
Yeah. So pretty much everything they asked us to do, you know.
You just gave the service
Yeah.
and
I guess
let it flow.
We found it pretty hard to say no. So
Yeah.
if someone said, "I want this and I want it to look like this and cut this up and change it," if we couldn't do it, we knew the right people that could do it.
Yeah.
So did you love the challenge?
Yeah, I think
It
that's
was
what it
more
was.
about the challenge, I think.
And the love of it too. You
Yeah,
gotta have
of
the
course.
love. the
It's a
passion.
hobby.
was
Yeah.
because if you're doing something different,
Yeah.
then you obviously got a little bit of respect for it.
Yeah.
And you got this pride, out of it, and it made you enjoy doing what you do. So it wasn't a boring day-to-day same sort of job each time. So
Yeah. You had your soul behind it. Your
Yeah.
love, the love behind
Yeah.
it, mate.
100%.
Like Nona's cooking. Like grandma's cooking.
How did your parents react? Did they think it was just a joke?
No, our parents are pretty supportive.
Oh, good,
As
okay.
in, they're pretty laid back. They're like, if you want to do it, you do it. Give it a
Okay.
go. Do the renos you want. They were behind us the whole time.
Well, that's important too.
100%.
Because if you didn't get that support, I think it'd be discouraging. So,
Yeah, well, we weren't probably the best to do it at home, but we made do. But we had that dyno running out of a garage.
Oh, really?
So you had that.
Yeah, I think even
How were your neighbours? Where were you?
I think on average we'd have the police there once a day.
No.
Once a
Really?
day, council there every second day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're going, man, you guys have got a dyno here, and we're going, nah, we're just we're actually detailing bikes. We're
Sorry,
detailing
New South
bikes,
Wales
and
Police, if they're watching.
we're detailing them, and just free revving them on the stand. He's like, mate, we can hear you blocks away,
Oh, wow.
you know, shaking houses. So
Yeah, well, you would.
yeah,
Yeah.
It is loud.
It's a beautiful sound.
yeah, we had the vent for the dyno attached to my mum's clothesline out of the garage. Yeah. So we had different times when she could hang the clothes on the line and we could tune bikes.
What nationality are you? What nationality?
Well, we're born here.
Yeah. What's your background?
My parents are from Lebanon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
So-
Lebo brothers, mate.
Yeah.
Typical Lebo.
I mean, I'm trying to keep my Aussie aesthetics
Yeah.
so
Okay,
no one
sure.
can tell.
You're a Wazzy.
You know,
You're a
so-
Wazzy.
A
now.
Wazzy.
You're a Wazzy.
Yeah, I haven't heard
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's good. So you didn't get in trouble though. You couldn't get booked for it. No.
No, you couldn't because there's
Are we allowed
times
to
we were
talk
allowed to
about
make
this?
noise, but
Yeah.
it's
be
a
fine line.
serious level of noise. Like
Yeah.
it was shaking people's houses. So ultimately, they booted us out in a
Yeah.
friendly way.
And that's where you got the factory.
Had to.
Yeah,
we
had
were
to get
forced.
this.
Forced. Yeah. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, this was our first factory. This one.
So you've been here since. That's it. You haven't moved.
No, I don't think we will either.
But that was
so.
a good shake-up then. So
100%.
you should be saying thank you to the New South Wales Police.
I think the guy that got us over the edge was the council.
The council,
Yeah, the
yeah,
council
because
guy.
the probably couldn't do
Because you know
nothing
what, he
about
didn't
it.
come in as a cop and he didn't come in as a
Oh.
council. He had a strategy.
Okay.
He came in with a book and he was like, I wonder what on this property is not complied. And he started looking around, but he knew what he was doing.
clothesline.
A nice gesture, and he's like, boys, it's too loud. And we're like, you know what, give us a couple of weeks. We're trying our best to get a warehouse. And George actually put the pressure on a lot of real estate and managed to pull this one off. This was our first side, and then later we got the other side. So
Okay, so you got that up.
So on the other side, you do
both bikes and cars.
bikes and cars.
Yeah,
Okay. So
so-
people can take their cars and get fixed too. So you got
And
bikes and-
anything.
yeah, okay.
We didn't want to do cars, but
Okay.
then we also, while we were building our bikes, George was building a lot of our race cars.
Okay.
So that just followed straight through. Everyone came with the.
So you do a lot with your racing at Eastern Creek, or
Yeah, when we get time.
Okay.
I mean, that's more of a lifestyle
hobby?
hobby. Yeah,
Okay.
that we do. We've got the car dyno as well.
Okay.
And we tune all our own toys. So
So with the tuner that you have, the bike tuning, the dyno tuning,
Yep.
is that are there a lot of those in a lot of workshops or?
probably not around here.
Okay.
There is a handful of shops that do have them, but in the Silverwater region, no. So we've got a roller dyno for the bikes that we
Yep.
tune, and we've got a hub dyno for the cars that we tune. And what's great about the hub dyno for the cars is it works for the trikes, which is the
Oh,
3-wheel bikes.
Yeah.
And to find a motorcycle mechanic with a car dyno that can tune a trike,
Yep.
it's pretty.
So
rare.
that's
Common, yeah,
really
yeah.
rare that you've got that option here as well, because
it,
it's a pretty expensive setup too.
Yeah.
So that's really good that you guys do it too.
We're constantly putting back into the business.
Okay.
We're trying not to fall like what's been happening to a lot of businesses in the last few years.
It's been sad, eh?
It's actually been pretty sad. Yeah,
Yeah.
Within the last, let's say, 5 years, how many business we've seen come and go, or just crumble? Even big businesses. It's pretty shocking, to be honest, because you start to think, where's the market going with all
Yeah.
this, and why is this happening?
But they're companies that you looked up to when
Yeah.
we were starting out. It's like, all right, all we need to do is pretty much, follow what they're doing, and work our way up, and then try to capitalize on our specialties. But these companies fall over when you're trying your best. You're like, well,
If
is
they
this
have-
coming right our way? We
Overheads.
don't know.
The bigger ones got bigger overheads.
Yeah.
They've got big overheads,
so they
and
shut.
they're trying to run from a management system
Yeah.
where everything is on paper. Whereas, you if we had to bill every single hour we put into people's bikes, no one would be able to afford to build a bike.
Yeah, like you guys have your heart and soul into this, so you'll give your time and you'll do the extra work.
100%.
The companies that are bigger are paying the wages
Yeah.
and so on. Yeah.
You guys are so, but I've noticed too, very family orientated in the way when people come to get their bike done, it's like a family visit.
Yeah.
So they do this from their heart.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes them different
That
also.
does. Yeah.
And people respect that. It's really cute to see.
Well, that's where it all stemmed from, though.
I know, it's
because
gorgeous.
realistically, when you go for bike rides and whatnot, you're out, you're grabbing lunch, you're going for a cruise,
Yep.
and that's where it
Do
stems
you
from.
guys even ever buy lunch? You always have people buy you guys lunches.
Like-
Buy your
This
lunch.
is because they love you so much.
Here we go.
There's
It's
That's
so
maybe the
true.
reason I'm poor, because I'm always buying other people.
Honestly, you come and get your car serviced or something,
And
or
they buy lunch.
or you're passing through, and these guys have got a feast. All
Yeah,
these
no,
guys-
we got some
best.
generous customers.
That's the whole family.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying, and that's what
Yeah, yeah,
I
okay.
think it's
So they
so
bring
beautiful.
food.
It's so rare to see that. You don't go to
Yeah.
a big company and the mechanics.
Yeah.
Like
No, it is rare. It is
the
very
general-
rare.
That's really rare. It's really
Like
rare.
we got some good customers.
It's
And,
beautiful, but
we for example, we had this one great customer. God rest his soul, he's not with us anymore. He saw we were doing some work on his bike. We sent him some updates. He transfers money to the account and says, "If I don't have photos of you taking everyone out for dinner with that money, then I want it back."
Yeah, what a guy. Like,
how
he was a
beautiful
champion.
is that?
8 o'clock on we work late some nights, especially if we're preparing for racing. But that's when you'll see, yep, money was in the account. He's like, stop, go out for dinner.
How
And we'd
beautiful.
all go out for dinner.
See, that's a rare thing. That's what I'm
beautiful,
saying.
man.
Yeah.
And that's what I think you guys stand out from a lot of workshops. I think it's just beautiful. I mean, even your morning tea breaks, you're always together. It's such a beautiful bonding.
It is even when we came in here.
Yeah, it's
And even to allow us to do this.
So,
Yeah.
Like, seriously, you stopped work for the day where you got little, go over there, we're keeping it quiet.
We were tricked. She said this is a 15-minute.
Yeah, you expected a camera to come. That is
Yeah, I thought someone was coming
Hey, the
in.
marketing mic's serious. Hey, better media production, right, Nicholas? Yeah. He's the Yoda behind the scenes, mate.
Yeah, he's got it going.
So I noticed you've got your shirts, so you sell merch here as well, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Stand
warm
up.
too.
Oh no, it's all right.
No, you can't. No,
Okay, we're
I
set
like
up
that one.
now.
They're all pretty cool.
Yeah,
they
we
look really
got
good.
an online shop that we work on as much as we can. We're
Yeah.
trying to get that. Well, it is up and running, but we're trying to get that always advancing on that to,
Okay.
be bigger and better. But
So people can just jump online.
jump
and buy.
online,
Okay.
purchase online.
Or they can come in.
It's all got safe, secure payment, all that sort
Yep,
of stuff.
cool.
So.
That's
So we also talk about the customers you got. There's a few gold-plated bikes around
They're
here.
beautiful bikes around
What
here.
can't you say? What can you say? Hey?
Maybe
'Cause
leave that
you've
to
got a
Jen.
lot of
Just have to
bikes.
wrap it up there.
Yeah, we'll,
Let's talk about something
we'll do
else.
footage. We'll show a few
Talk
things.
about
But,
something else, Daniel.
oh no, I like it. Look at this one
I
behind.
know
This
you
one
like
behind
it,
me.
but maybe
So what's
we
this
should talk
one?
about something else.
No, the gold
sexy.
bike's actually it's real gold.
Yeah,
well,
dude.
real
That's-
gold plating.
Yep.
And it just cost a
Can
hell
we
of a lot of
can
money.
we say like on a range how much a bike just to give people an idea what's
To give you an idea, some of those ones that we do where the frame's done and the wheels are done and that, and little bits and pieces to suit, but you can spend excess of 25, 30 grand on gold work at a minimum, just on dipping it all, and then the label will follow through. So there's a lot in doing it. It's a tough sort of coating because it doesn't last forever. There's no way to really coat something that's so shiny, because there's a clear on top of the gold for the clear to stick. We've tried different ways, powder coating clear, painting it clear. It's just, but it's really just a show sort of thing. Some people are happy to redo it every few years.
So people with money, obviously.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing like
Doesn't
practical
faze them.
really out of it.
Yeah.
Like it's just so you can have anything done here. Really.
You,
at the
you can
shop.
do anything if you can afford it.
Yeah.
We
So
can
you
do it.
tailor make like seats and things like that for customers.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Wow. Okay.
Nate will start with the whole fabrication of each part, and then it will move to the next stage of whether it's got to be seat trimmed for the
Okay.
fabrics or it's got to be painted, things like that.
Because there's a lot of detail on these bikes. I think
Yeah.
people don't really realise, it's tiny, they think, but like there's so much involved.
Oh, this blue one over there. That's a it's a cruiser, right? Where would you ride that?
See,
Where would you? How could you take that?
that was a bike I was building specifically for our company as a promo bike.
Yeah, okay. It's a
And
beast.
yeah, I mean, it can be ridden normally. It airbags right up off the floor.
Really?
Oh.
And it looks big. It is. It's really long, but functionality that actually rides really good.
Yeah, like
Pretty
a cruiser.
cool.
Yeah, well,
It's
yeah.
when you go the big rear wheels and a big front wheel, it can be a bit difficult if you stretch the bike out. But because that's got a really skinny wheel under the back, but you can't tell.
Yeah.
It actually just rides like a big push
a
bike.
hovercraft,
Yeah.
like a boat. It's like a jet.
A boat.
Like a jet ski.
It's called
dude.
the Blue Whale.
The blue
Yeah,
whale.
yeah, that's it,
I knew
you
it was
know.
something with the water.
That's it.
It is the blue whale.
Yeah, it is. It
Like
is
on
a
a
blue
like
whale.
a like a gladiator.
Yeah.
The pits. You know what I mean?
I was just going to ask, what would be a highlight that you could say for Darkside that has come here, like a famous, I don't know,
Famous
give us
customer.
something like
Oh
famous
yeah, yeah. We're
customer
talking
or a
about bikes
famous
before.
bike or what?
What was the Apocalypse Now actor? What's his name?
Yeah.
Look, we've done some pretty cool stuff. We've
Yep.
sent some bikes international, interstate. We do a lot of interstate work, which is really good.
So what? They'll send their bikes
Yeah,
to you.
That's right. So
Wow.
we transport them. We've got a good companies we work with.
Okay.
But it's all safe, secure, and enclosed. And they'll transport it across Australia. And then if anything, the last few that went to Dubai were up the nose of a plane. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
A few gone to New Zealand. But one special bike was,
Brando.
the Marlon Brando bike. So we
I
had,
know him.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
era.
For people that don't,
Yeah, at least you admitted
the
it.
actor,
I'm
the
admitting
Godfather.
it. I'm admitting I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we had his bike getting restored here in secret for a while. I think because of its price tag and whatnot, what comes with it. But that was pretty cool. We had to keep the
Yeah.
authenticity of it. So there's only so much we could do to the visuals of it. But
Oh, we've also had fucking
Who?
Elvis Presley's
Oh
car.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Elvis
What?
Presley's car.
So what,
he
his
knows more
car.
about it because he's into it. But
well, I've been in Graceland.
yeah, he's
So
that was pretty cool.
to actually, I'm not gonna lie, the smell was the same as when I walked into Elvis Presley's house. It was
what?
like,
You went to his house too.
yeah. So
Had the smell of him.
It was
same.
on point. So this car came straight from America to here because we got a few clients that buy a lot of things at auctions and stuff, and it was his last car that he bought for Ginger. So it was a white Lincoln.
One of his
That was
girlfriends.
one of his
Yeah, one of his
girlfriends,
girlfriends.
wasn't
One
it?
of his
Yeah.
girlfriends.
his last girlfriend.
Yeah.
And
Lucky girl.
That was cool. Yeah, we had that here too. So
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously, what happened after that? So you did a bit of work to it,
yeah,
and then
yeah. So we make them all roadworthy and things like
yeah.
that.
And who it was for a customer, obviously,
Yeah.
who bought it. So what would
So
that be priced?
collector. So
What would that be
these
priced
collectors.
at?
Yeah.
If you
You
work
know
it
what?
out?
The Brando bike is worth more. For sure. For
What do
sure.
we? Can we give a figure or?
We're talking 10 years ago. It sold for quarter mil American.
Yeah, but so did the
Yeah.
bike.
Yeah. No, this is the bike.
Oh, it's
So
the
it'd be
bike.
worth
Bike.
it'd be
So-
worth $1 million plus now, right?
Yeah, about $1 million. I'd
Yeah.
say. Yeah. Now, be worth. Be pretty accurate.
Where and it's just sitting somewhere safe. That's it.
So
For,
it's
for
actually-
inheritance
So
tax
so
to
it's
come off.
drivable, like,
Yeah, they're
it's rideable.
drivable, rideable.
Wow.
They're both
Yeah.
working. So
It was a bit of.
Imagine the insurance on that.
Would you ride it though?
Shit, no.
I'd put it in my lounge room.
No, I'd put it in my lounge.
Put it behind my bed.
Wow. Well, these collectors.
Yeah,
Let's
well, that's
keep
it. That's all it is, isn't it? Actually, are you guys afraid, or well, not afraid, but the electric motors coming through, the change of all this sort of
nah,
stuff? Are
the
you guys-
Harley world, Americans are stubborn.
Yeah.
They once they love something or they're real passionate about it. Whereas Harleys are just heavy hunks of engineered metal, but there's nothing light about them. Yeah, you could make them light. You could probably make them handle better. There's a lot of things that they could do, but it's just the heritage that they keep rolling with, and it's got a big following. So
It never stopped.
they had a crack at doing an electric bike.
Yeah, I was going to ask. about that.
Yeah, it didn't last at all.
I think they pulled the pin on it. Actually.
Yeah, there was no. The
it was.
sales were like I don't know, something like
How do you compare
less
that
than 20% of what they wanted.
Not with Harley. Maybe Yamaha or Honda can do electric, but not Harley, right?
Yeah, no, not
You'd be
not
picked
Harley.
on, right, if you're a Harley rider?
Yeah, imagine
Oh my
that.
God, so What?
Imagine being a
out.
150
Yeah.
kilo bike, and bloke, and riding an electric bike.
It's a little bit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm all for it. Just I can't service that. Sorry.
Yeah, what do you do?
You say that
Yeah.
in an indirect way.
I mean,
Sorry,
Can't service that. We don't do that service.
that
So.
service. That's it. It's just that service I don't do.
There's that. What about workers coming through? Young workers coming through. You know, I'm into labour hire. Obviously, I
Yeah,
was saying before,
okay.
we struggle with. Obviously, people doing trades and stuff. Like, what's the mechanic world now? What's this world going on?
That's an interesting one. You know, it's like a wave. When we first started out, we had people flooding the gates trying to work with us.
Yeah.
You know, but we got a good solid team we had at the time, and we built on that because we're quite picky with who we want to be with us and who's going to stick around. And then that started to drop off. It started to drop off every year. You know, less and less people becoming mechanics, and we found they didn't have the drive to be in this sort of industry. You know, I don't know, this different generation now.
On the phones, maybe.
Yeah.
It's technology, dude.
Well, you know what? I believe they just the newer generation of youth or people coming are taught or are believing there's an easy way to make money. There's easy avenues, and they don't have as many ambitions. We speak to a lot of the young guys. Hey, you want to own a house? Too expensive. It's not a goal anymore because how are you going to get 1.8 million, $1.6 million loan? You know, so
They don't
they
have
start
that
to
drive.
want smaller goals, something that's more achievable in their mind. Anything's achievable, but it's just they don't have the drive and they don't want to work as hard because people see the easy option, like the amount of people that attempt to be famous or make money off like YouTube and stuff like that. Instagram,
That's where it's heading.
where there is a lot of money there,
Yeah.
but it's like
that's a
it's
fad
like
as well.
a couple of percent of people on the net are making that sort of money. The rest of them are not making enough to survive.
Yeah, it's a mentality of it. It's like the entitled generation.
Yeah, that's right. That's
You know, and
right.
there's too many options. I find.
Yeah.
You know, like I get when I find workers. Sorry, you place them in a job within a few weeks. They want, I got anything else? It's
Yeah.
like, dude, this is the job.
Yeah.
They're always looking for what's better.
It's
Yeah.
like
You know?
they've already blamed something that before they even tried.
To make an excuse not to
Yeah,
work.
that's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah, they don't want to
Whereas
work. Yeah.
I always figured no one was going to do it for me. You know, if we didn't put in the hours that we had to put in, someone wasn't going to walk in and get it done. So you just shut up and get it done.
I would love if my son was to say, I want to work, do a business out of the garage. So, dude, change it. I
Oh, we
would. I'll do
Yeah.
what your
we'd
parents
embrace
did.
that
I
because-
love it.
I know, but also from my generation, which is another generation back from these guys, right? Mate, we went to work, we shut our mouths and we did the job. I was
Yeah.
scared.
Yeah.
We were all like that. These days, they're more entitled. It's like, no, what are you going to do for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, hang on
Yeah,
a
what do I
minute.
get from this?
You
What else do I
work
get
for
from this
me.
job part? A wage
Yeah.
and a career. What can I get from this job?
Yeah, it's like you work for me, you know, but no.
Yeah,
it's
before we
changed.
even get someone
Yeah.
to work here, before I do,
Yeah.
I'll test their character because
Yeah.
you
gotta invest time teaching and that.
100%, but
I
it's just
get it.
I can't. You know, the way I talk and the way we are in this workshop is the way I've been for the past 20 years. So
Yeah. Like it.
if you
Love
can't
it.
adapt to me losing my brains once in a while because I don't accept the way something was done,
Yeah.
and you're not going to go and cry about it in the bathroom for another 2 hours,
Yeah.
then that's different.
Well, I had this talk to George. They're
Oh,
trying to
okay.
bring in psychological injury for workers' comp. So if you do that, they
You
can claim
may
a
as well-
psychological injury.
You may as well give me the form when you get here, so you don't have to work
I'll
here.
sign you off, dude.
Yeah,
I'll pay
I'll
your
sign
workers'
it for
comp.
you.
That's it. Because
That's it.
Psychological
this
injury.
is it. So this is what we discuss. Is like, how do you? But you having this family business, you know, obviously the heart and soul. You can choose which one, so you can put it to the test. You know,
You have to, because
Yeah.
if you're not built tough, how are you gonna deal with complications and challenges that you come across? Whereas these people that are gonna have these, you know, unless you have a problem with yourself, which you got to respect the people that have issues and stuff like that. That's their own sort of challenge. But the people that are making it, they're entitled to have a problem when they don't have a problem. they can go live their life being jealous of the guy that actually wants to work and achieve something. Because you notice real quickly, those people that hate on everyone are still in the same spot 10 years later.
For live in glass houses, throw
100%.
stones, mate,
Yeah.
You know, And you do more on the ground, like you're obviously separate, but dealing with the workers and stuff, like and getting the jobs done, pushing the jobs out.
George will push it always.
Yeah.
You know, he's more of the management side for sure, because most of the jobs I'm stuck on, I'm there for the whole week, and I can't really multitask when I'm trying to figure. I'm measuring shit all day and doing that all day. When he stops to build the motor, he'll stop for that few hours and focus on it, get it done, and move to different sections. Or he's stuck in the dyno room. He could almost live there.
Is that you in the videos?
Yeah, that's him.
That tricep, dude. You got a good tricep. I'm watching everyone. Like, this guy's got a sick ass.
I don't know if that's the throttle tricep.
I feel this way.
Yeah, you're gonna have to balance that out.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Start left accelerating.
That's where
It's both of them because he flicks back. You know, it's cool. I like that room.
Trust you to notice stuff.
Dude,
like
of
that.
course.
Yeah, I know, it's a
Staunch
bro
man.
thing.
That's
You know what's funny? Now that you mentioned that,
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't know.
people will comment, "Hey,
Dude,
you guys,
looks good."
you dropped a Mars bar wrapper in the corner of the room." It's like, really? They go for everything now. You know, like
everything but what I'm doing.
yeah, that's right.
You like fitness, right?
Yeah,
You have to, dude. It keeps you structured for this 3-year-old job. You know?
You know,
How
it's
like how do you breathe in there?
oh, we
It must be.
He's
we
got his
try to
bane.
keep up with the ventilation, but when it gets onto proper race fuels,
Yeah.
I've got a mask.
So how many could you do in a day? That's like health wise for you.
It goes probably on what I'm trying to achieve in there. If I'm doing, I usually spend a whole day, but
Oh,
I'll
wow.
break it up into breaks. So
Okay.
I'll force myself, or Nathan will actually come over,
Yeah.
knock on the window with holding a
Are you
little
alive?
coffee, and he'll say, "Come on,"
I make coffees every
and
day.
he'll say, "Come
all
on,
day.
You're the coffee
have a
guy.
break."
Yeah, he does not make
because-
coffee. He may as well go to the bathroom, drink out of the toilet.
Oh, instant cacao.
No, he's had to go, but it's like the pod machine's the pod machine. We're pressing the same button, but it just doesn't look right.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong on that coffee machine, but
It's not that hard,
Nah,
bro.
just
But you
don't-
fix bikes.
You stick to that.
that's it.
Stick to the.
I'll
Stick to
tune the
the.
bikes. Just don't ask me to make you a coffee.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
Yes, this is where it balances out, right?
We are talking about a pod machine coffee.
Yeah,
Just one button.
that's it.
Wow.
Drop the pod,
It's the
press
love
the
in the
button.
press, though. It's a love in the
Wow.
press.
100%.
It's like when you vacuum the floor, the male vacuum, just vacuum what you see, right?
That's it.
Yeah,
Run
that's what I'm
over
going to do. If you want to vacuum, you vacuum the whole thing. You know? Make your own coffee.
Okay, and that, we've been talking about serious stuff, sure, but what about some funny highlights, would you say? Without putting you on the spot. I'm just saying.
How many
You
years?
are.
How many years open first of all?
Fuck, I think nearly 10 here. Roughly 10, close to 10.
So you're hitting 10
Here.
years.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
all up.
All up, probably 13 or 14, I think.
All right, there's going to be something funny.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm just trying to figure
So
out what
which
I'm
one
allowed to
can I
say. That was funny.
Oh.
You know, some people might not think it's that funny.
Oh, okay, maybe not. I don't know.
Are we putting down accidents as funny?
What have we had? Oh,
Have you had things catch on fire and?
yeah.
Miss
Oh,
us.
so that's normal.
Yes.
We were eating lunch here one day, actually. We go, what's that smell?
Oh no.
And then a bike just so happened to be, what was it?
The throttle cable
Because it's a metal lining in the throttle cable.
had rubbed through and it was touching the positive on the battery, and it just started to catch on fire
Well,
while
huh.
it was sitting on the dyno
Just
room.
no one touching the bike, no one
Have you
nothing.
served it, done anything to it yet?
Nah, we just rolled it up there. We
Oh,
just put
dude.
it there, and we're about to get tuning after we finished our lunch, and we're just like, "What's that smell? What's going on?" Yeah, run over. Luckily, we got extinguishers everywhere here,
Oh
but
my god.
whatever you think couldn't happen, happens.
So how did you tell the customer? Yeah, it's like
Well, we saved your bike. It didn't catch on fire.
Yeah.
But it was smoking. That's
And
the
that
last
can't
thing
happen.
you want in any workshop is a fuel fire.
imagine it being
I don't care for
taken
anything. It's
overnight.
not fuel. Everything's got fuel.
Take the gold one,
Yeah.
then.
But imagine
Take the one you
that
want.
happening overnight and you just weren't here.
The
Like-
shop would be burnt to the floor.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So you got to check all that stuff.
100%. Let's say safety first. That's why we got so much,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so many extinguishers
Well,
and
it's
stuff like
it's
that.
a tidy
but
workshop, man. I got to say.
we
like,
try to,
Yeah.
you know. You could probably light up a bike and it won't spread here because of how tidy. You know, we mop
you-
the oil,
it's
grease,
all
everything
spaced.
every day. Yeah, everything's
Yeah.
spaced
Yeah.
as much as we can. It does get jammed, but
No, it's good.
What's the most bikes you've had in here?
I reckon close to 70. Right now, between here and what we've got stored, there'd be 50 odd at least.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Crazy, crazy.
So what's the future hold? Like, what do you guys want to just keep going with the flow, or you going to head off to a different direction, or?
It's almost like that's been what's happened every year. We've just gone with the flow. I mean, you try to keep up with the times, the cost, and where we're moving next. I mean, we didn't even find ourselves super competitive in the drag racing world, and then all of a sudden now we're trying to be, you know. So we've got one of the quickest Milwaukee 8 Harley Davidsons in Australia. So
Milwaukee 8's the new motor that
Yeah.
Harley use, or have been since I think 18 or late 17.
So
Yeah.
do you get them ready to go to the drags and race?
And
Okay.
that's also adds to part of the fun, the community behind everything that's
So
going
do you
on.
guys race?
We do. George is our predominant racer. I do it socially, but he's
Wear your
he's
helmets. You
lighter.
should be wearing
I
helmets.
saw it. It's drags. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
And I looked at one of them. It was on the wet floor too. I'm like, oh, it's wet. You don't like. What do you hit?
How fast?
Yeah, how fast do you get?
150 mile he's doing on the Fat Boy right now.
I think I did 146.
147.
I've done 150s on a V-Rod.
Have you?
Yeah,
There you go.
years back. But
Yeah, they're real quick.
power's
Damn.
not our
Yeah.
problem. We make a lot of power. It's
And that's
just
good to
get the power.
promote you guys too.
Yeah, they know when we're there. The shakes
Yeah,
and
but
stands,
you
but
have a following, don't you? You really do.
yeah, we do. There is a lot of people that
have a
follow
lot of
because
people
it's
supporting you.
we work specifically on one model, like as in on one bike of the Harley Davidsons.
Okay.
one brand. Sorry,
Right.
but
Okay.
that's why we've got such a big following.
Probably more following than we realise. And sometimes it takes an outside person to remind me of that because we're so stuck in these four walls that someone says, hey, can you stop for a second? That they've flown in from Amsterdam or they've come in down from Queensland. Give them 10 minutes, you know? And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, you know, do they really want to talk to me? Like,
Yeah,
what's the big
so
deal?
humbling.
They are very
Yeah.
humble. They don't realise.
So
It's
humble. You guys
have
are
you
awesome,
checked
man.
your Instagram? Do you know how many followers you have, guys? Do you even know?
We've got like 100 and something,
got
200,000
Instagram?
on Facebook.
Yeah.
What's his Instagram?
What is Instagram? No, it's cool. And what about, like, do you guys like to have your parts and things that you're working on? Do you like to, you know, you obviously can see that a bike could do this, like, as
Yeah.
in, have you created anything
We
or in the process?
really like our research and
I
development.
was going to say the
Okay.
R&D section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wish we had more time for it because we come up with some cool stuff. And do we finish everything we've started? Probably not. And we want to get back into those. But we do have some cool stuff coming out soon.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're getting stuff like,
Yeah. So our difference is we thoroughly test a product.
Okay.
And if it's not right, it's not fucking right. So
yeah.
We never test on customers' bikes.
yeah.
Right.
We have 2 or 3 brand new bikes always in the shop, being stripped down, tested that are shop bikes.
That would be very costly.
It is, but
That's the R&D section.
they
Yeah,
don't have
yeah.
4 wheels. You can't go out there and someone go, man, I got a wobbly left wheel. Can you sort that out? These guys are going out there and pushing the limits because they're making power.
Yeah.
So we've got to make sure they're right.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
Yeah.
cool.
that's a good question.
So you're very much up to date with all the latest.
You want to
You know,
make
technology.
money because you're running a business, but you
also
know
costs.
you want to do it right. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
so much stuff that we could send out and just get made overseas in countries that are cheaper cost, cheaper material. Might be the same grade, but there's no quality control. There are factors you got to factor in
Yeah.
into people's safety. So
And that's
Yeah.
hence why you're still here and you're still working a business. A lot of people have gone broke. They're just like,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
hard.
very basic and
it's hard.
yeah. But it's a very good thing.
We don't have CEOs that get paid, $300,000 to run the company.
Or
like some
HR.
of the, or
Yeah.
HR.
HR system.
No,
But
there's no
that's
HR.
amazing.
HR.
HR's right here.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
Yeah.
I feel sick. I'll put a bucket next to your
Yeah.
list.
The good old days.
You know, and
Good
if
old
you
days.
fall over, I'll pick you up. Like I'm definitely there for you.
That's it.
You know,
Come
free,
to work.
There's free water. You know,
Yeah.
like fill your bottle up with the tap. Like, you know, whatever you want.
Whatever you want, got a rag.
You have got
What, the
filtration.
sweat?
That's right.
What, the sweat? Well, that's
So
good.
funny.
Oh, man, I'm happy. Like, I'm really grateful for you guys let us in. To be honest,
No,
let us,
we actually, it's exciting because it's something new for us.
Yeah.
It's
Would
new. It's
you-
different.
Can I ask a question? So, would you think, or would you be able to say, like people that you speak to say that this would be a good idea if we were to set up and go to your workplace, say, and talk about, wait, this is new for us. We want to do this, and we actually want to do this on a
Well,
professional level.
I actually think it's a really great idea because everyone sees what that company posts on social media
Yeah.
about their product.
Yep.
They don't know who's posting it or who's making the product or anything behind the scenes. So
But it's exactly like building bikes. He can build your motor up to a T with what you request. He would never think about setting up all this stuff and promoting what he does because this is not what he's good at.
Yeah.
You run a cafe, you run a business. You might be the best baker in the world, but
Yeah.
you don't know how to use your computer.
That's right.
That's not your job to use the computer.
I don't know. I've had
You know?
visitors
Yeah.
before, so
Yeah.
for me, I thought, why don't we, Nick, Daniel, myself, come to a business place, a workplace, show the world or the people what the professional job that we're sort of trying to promote.
And behind and how
behind the
they've
scenes,
started it
you know
up
what I mean?
too.
There's
Yeah.
That's a story, the good story.
What do you
behind it.
reckon? Like-
Yeah, beautiful. I reckon it's
I
fantastic.
mean, I think it's more about just promoting and letting you guys shine for that 1 hour that you have behind these beautiful microphones that Nick has set up. Thanks,
yeah,
Nick.
we're about
Yeah.
family business, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You've done it from the ground up for
Yeah.
your garage, and look what you've done. Like, seriously, you do have to sit
Yeah.
back sometimes and go, oh, far out, cool.
Yeah,
But you keep going,
We
keep
like
doing
the
your
real,
stuff.
We like the real story.
Without people like
Yeah.
you coming in and saying it to us, our heads are down and we're just working. We don't never realize that, and
Yeah.
the year goes before you know it, and you're on to the next. And it's just like people are like, man, you guys have done well. It's like,
You guys should
thank
be
you,
so
and then we're
damn
back to work.
proud.
Yeah,
It's
because
just-
that's how good it is.
You should be so proud of what you guys have achieved.
yeah, but
Such a young
you're
age.
proud, but it's always on the back of your mind that you can't let it fall over.
No, you
just
always
gotta
wanna
keep
be
going.
better.
It's real
I get
easy
that.
to run out of funds and
Yeah, of
and
course it is.
Dude, you
you
take
know
the-
run at a loss.
Take the whale out, mate.
Oh,
Screw you all.
yeah.
Wait, right,
That'll
when
be the
things go
day.
to shit, just go for a drive. You know?
That'll be the
I
day.
don't think the workers genuinely sometimes realize they make more than you sometimes.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
see, you guys are bosses, and behind the scenes, your workers won't.
Yeah,
ever
we
know
get
that. We
bills
know
that-
this.
that
we know that. But,
But
you
I-
know,
That's vomit.
But I've dealt with businesses for about 20 plus years doing labour hire.
Yeah.
And when I go into work factories, like you guys, honestly.
You know.
And the people here, like you
We
see the
know.
respect, the
Yeah.
family environment, the tightness. So, I wish you guys all the best, man. Like, I seriously, I want
thank
to
you.
come back and,
and
keep in touch with you.
unless you have a business,
Yeah.
you know how expensive it
Correct.
is running
Yeah,
costs.
yeah.
So, and I think that's why, to me,
But you'll
I wanted
notice
to touch
everyone
on
that doesn't have a business will walk in and tell you that you own a
You're doing
business. You're the
okay.
richest guy we know.
Yeah,
We
they
know that.
expect
You
it.
can afford it. You own a
Yeah,
business.
yeah. You look at the
Oh,
box
yeah.
you got. Yeah.
We
look at
know
it.
that, and
Yeah.
that's not true. So I don't know. That's why we've come from businesses and
Yeah.
want to do this.
people walk in and think every bike here is ours.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah, yeah.
Hello,
I'm
this
like,
is a
you
business.
can't be
We
for
can
real,
work on
right?
that.
Like,
It's the service. You guys give a great service.
They do.
We try our best, definitely.
Yeah.
They're
so-
definitely unique. I can vouch.
Well, your
for
son
that.
works. You wouldn't let him work in a place, with.
Oh, they
Does he get
actually-
whipped? Does he come home and cry?
No, you know what? These guys actually gave my son an opportunity. 7-8 years ago.
yeah, quite a long time ago.
So they're like, I don't know. I feel like they've been their older brother too, and they've really nurtured.
They've allowed
him.
you in. Like,
That's
They
what
got
I'm
no
thinking.
choice.
I'm about your son.
They got
That's
no
it's the
choice.
baggage he came with. That, you know,
It's his podcast you bought.
yeah. Look what we're doing for him.
Yeah.
You know,
Hang on a minute.
you know. Wasn't for him.
He could be the next. He
I
could be
don't
the
know.
R&D section.
These-
You got to train someone in R&D.
I don't know.
Get those ideas out, mate.
I have a soft spot for these guys.
You do.
They work hard.
Beautiful
but they've
boys.
also got
Hey,
very.
she feeds us sometimes.
Well, this is going to say too.
That's
like
my
if
love
someone
there.
bring the bikes in here, Darkside custom, Harleys,
have a
mate,
bike
but bring lunch too. Right?
Has she cooked for you yet?
No.
Oh wait,
I've just
forget
met
about
Daniel.
it.
That's it. This is
Forget
the. I just
about
met
it.
you. I'm
tried,
Daniel.
Daniel.
Yeah, wait a minute. Wait till she cooks for you.
Yeah, wait a second.
Yeah.
You had a restaurant.
Yeah, he's over there. See what happens? The guy that runs everything.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
poor guy sitting in the corner running 27
He's hungry.
cameras.
Nick,
and he's,
come here.
he's
He's
copping
hungry.
it.
Nick, just
come here.
come
Come sit
here.
on my lap, man.
Come on, Nick.
Yeah, but-
This is our new thing. And what are we called, guys?
The marketing mic. Marketing
Yeah.
mic. We're going to try something. But wait a second. You got to cook for us. Go back to this. Can you cook us something, man? Because you had
Nathan,
restaurants and
what
you
have
just
you
told us.
started?
No, like my wife's a good cook.
Yeah.
But
That's different level.
She's another
She
level of cook.
owns restaurants.
That's what I'm saying. She's a chef.
I'm not a chef.
Oh, well,
I just ran.
I'm not a chef, but fuck, you know.
Yeah,
I
but
just like
you're
to
a
cook.
reviewer.
My mum's not a chef either,
You're
but
a reviewer.
she around the
She
clock
cooks.
cook. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Mum's cooked
I'm
me,
just
mate.
a
You
can't
domestic
beat it.
cook.
Old school now. Now, let's,
Yeah,
I don't want
old
to change.
school now,
You know,
yeah.
I know we're sort of
Now
tying
it's
up.
Uber Eats.
I
Yeah,
made
now
a-
it's
You know?
Uber Eats. I don't want to cook.
Yeah, I don't want to cook. Oh,
I made a beautiful
die.
ragu
And you're chauvinist.
last
How dare I
night.
cook for you?
Nathan.
Yeah,
Nathan.
fuck, don't start me on that.
That's what
Don't
I
start-
do.
don't-
We should
oh.
have a nighttime one over a few beers. What do you reckon?
Even my wife said, "Oh yeah, do
be
you
a
expect me to
Wednesday
cook
night.
every
They do
day and
Wednesday
clean your
nights.
clothes, clean the house, do this, do that? If you're finished, wash the cars. Like, I don't see the issue here. If I got a day off, I'll do it for you too.
Exactly.
I don't have a day
It's
off.
about yin yang, the balance.
100%.
man. Yeah, yeah.
Whatever she needs, I'll do. Whatever you need, ask me.
Yeah.
I won't say no. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You know, I'm not a pig where you just do one thing. You do it. If you can't, if you need me to help out, I'll help
George,
out.
You're
you're
a service
really quiet
provider,
here.
dude.
Hang on a
Just
minute.
let's get it done. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Nathan, what are you trying to like? Are you trying to like
I'm trying to go home
cover
happy.
yourself?
I've covered my. Nah, you know what? Because I'm the same hero at home. That's the difference.
That's the best.
That's
George
the
has
same.
gone very quiet.
So he's the reserved one.
Yeah, I know.
He's the
but-
one in the diner. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to go. Can we have a checkout later after this? Can we go check?
Yeah, we'll do a walk around.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah, we'll do that. All right, beautiful. All right, hey.
Sounds good.
Good?
Well,
We can talk for ages, dude.
I know.
we got a lot of
but
politics
Maybe
talk.
one day we
That's
can do
true.
a Wednesday night with drinks,
Okay.
and it'll
Fuck,
be like
I don't know
more.
if you want
It'll
to
be
do
just
that.
bro
You can't
talk.
come to that one.
Excuse me.
You can't come. If we're drinking,
when-
and then we can't
What if she
even.
brings
No, no,
dinner?
no.
I don't even know if we can air this thing.
If she brings
Yes, we
dinner.
can.
100%. We're gonna
Excuse
have.
me, Daniel. What was our original podcast going to be?
What? As in
Bitches and bros.
bitches and
Okay, so I classify.
No.
We classify as bitches, and you can be the bros.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, you're quiet.
Yeah, you know when you got to respect
See?
them.
Yeah, see, he's a good man.
See how I just shut up and it's
He's
like,
been the
you
same
know,
as
Yeah,
he's
you
at
shut
home.
it
you,
up.
you do you. I
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't want to let loose when the camera's off.
Oh,
you're confident.
100%.
You're going to club, but no more food for you guys.
I don't need any more
George,
food.
what do you want me to bring for you?
George can finish up. George, anything to say?
George,
Have we been here for an hour? Have we been here that long?
Steered in the wrong direction.
No way.
40 minutes. That's perfect, dude.
Fuck another hour. You know
We
that
gotta
guy
work.
that drags it until lunchtime? You see it every 10 minutes.
Anyways,
What is
what
it?
else?
Alright.
Is there
Thank
anything
you.
else? We just want to say thank you.
Nah,
you so much.
guys.
And we'll keep in
Anything
touch.
else? Is there anything else you want to add to this?
No,
For you guys, like,
you know,
do you wanna
we're-
tell the world
We're both
anything?
doing the same thing right now, so hopefully it goes where it wants
Yeah,
to go.
dude.
You know,
This is what we do. We're here for the good
Yeah.
reason.
would you be happy to sort of plug us if you think this is a good idea?
I think it's a great idea initially because you're doing a service that not everyone does.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know? Whereas the same thing as we do as
Like
another
I said,
shop.
this is all new for us
There's a
too.
cafe in the middle of Silverwater here, right?
Yep.
Who would think? I've seen them open and close for the past 10 years. Maybe 4 or 5 times one cafe's changed hands.
Yeah.
And they might do really nice food. It's fallen over. Now there's a new one that's opened up at the end of the street, done really well. Soon as the social media came into it, they promoted it, TikTok, whatever it is,
Yeah.
Instagram. You go there on Sunday. We're in the middle of the
Sunday,
industrial area.
Silverwater.
There is a line, I'm telling you, 50
go.
meters down the road,
wow.
just because everyone's been notified pretty much. That's all
Yeah.
social media is. Everyone's been notified of what they do. And without people like you, it's hard for anyone to know.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
new
So-
age one, man.
Yeah, it's a new
It's
age.
a new stage.
This is the way. There's no more yellow pages.
Yeah, and even mainstream after the whole COVID thing too. Mainstream's going, mate.
COVID.
Well, we started
You
off.
know?
Fuck it to everyone.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
We started off only word of mouth. We had to get with it. We had to start doing social media to start
Was
getting.
there social media when we started? Just Facebook, I think.
Yeah, just Facebook.
Yeah.
We started Instagram late, and we didn't get anything past Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
But once we did that, that's when we got all our interstate clients, and it was like,
That's
oh,
incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
That's
when
what's
we
happening.
started, I don't think you could have even uploaded off your phone, like directly.
was
I think you
pretty-
had to go off your
Was it the
computer.
Motorola's
Yes.
back in the
No,
Nokia
yeah,
days?
something like that.
Hang
That's
on.
before
They were the
your
best
time.
phones.
Do you? You wouldn't remember, but the phones
bricks?
used to be like. a
Yeah, I
brick.
remember that.
Do you
I'm-
remember that?
Yeah.
You would have been just born.
Yeah, but I still remember. There was only because only like 3 people had a brick
Correct.
that big.
Correct.
My uncle had a car battery on the phone thing.
My-
I don't know if that was
Best.
legal, but
Yeah.
that was like the BlackBerry of mobile
Yeah.
Yeah,
phones,
the
you know.
Blackberries. But my boss used to have one. He used to carry. It was like a carry bag.
That was-
Yeah, that's
that
right.
was
Yeah,
back-
the
Go
carry bag.
lunches, it's like,
Yeah.
what
And the
the
cord
hell?
as well.
That's
Those-
hilarious.
Bring that
come,
back.
come quick. So it has social media is good, and this is the thing. I think this is the new way of sort of advertisement promotion, you know. And yeah, hopefully we see you guys get bigger and hang in there. You know,
I reckon we
pump 'em
just
out.
we do another one and see where it's
Yeah,
moved
dude.
to. And
Can we do this at night time with a glass of wine
Yeah, we
or
will.
something?
100%. Do you want me to?
Am
Like,
I
I can
allowed to
take out a
come?
globe or something and dim the lights
Yeah.
if you really want. Yeah,
Change the music.
yeah. I'll change.
Barry
the music.
White.
I'll dress different. I wear my onesie. You know that whatever it is.
No mankinis this
Like a
time.
Borat. I can see him as Borat.
Oh,
On a bike.
No.
In his blue one. On a
yeah,
Borat.
you want a plug? I'll wear that. I mean, not an actual plug, right? But you know,
Taylor again.
Sergeants can get crazy.
no.
Yeah, all right, let's keep it professional.
I give you the light thing. You know, you're like,
No, I
actually,
don't
I
know
don't know
what
enough
you're
about it. No,
Do you want to elaborate?
no, no,
Oh,
elaborate
okay,
nothing.
sure.
All right, come down, all right?
Okay.
Give them some more work. Stress them out more. All right? Good times. See you, boys.
Nah, thank
All
you,
right,
thank
thanks,
you.
guys.
See you
Thanks,
soon.
Lee.